الله أكبر الله أكبر الله أكبر الله أكبر أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله أشهد أن محمدا رسول الله أشهد أن محمدا رسول الله حي على الصلاة حي على الصلاة حي على الفلاح حي على الفلاح الله أكبر الله أكبر لا إله إلا الله
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين والعاقبة للمتقين ولا عدوان إلا على الظالمين وأشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له قيوم السماوات والأراضين بعث نبينا محمد صلى الله عليه وآله وسلم رحمة للعالمين وأشهد أن محمدا صلى الله عليه وآله وسلم الله ورسوله بلغ حقيقة رسالة ربه وأفضل الأمانة ونصح للأمة وجاهد لله حق جهاده حتى أتاه اليقين فسبحانك لا علم لنا إلا ما علمتنا إنك أنت العليم الحكيم. أما بعد. Brothers and sisters in Islam, we thank the Almighty Allah for giving us another opportunity to be here today. We thank Him for His blessings that He's bestowed upon us. We bear witness that there is no deity worthy of worship except the Almighty Allah. We also bear witness that the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa alihi wa sallam is His servant and His messenger. Whosoever the Almighty Allah guides is really guided, and anybody who goes astray has nobody to blame but themselves. Today is a Friday, the 24th day of Rajab, 1443 years after the hijrah of the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, which also corresponds with the Julian Gregorian calendar 25th February 2022. Last week we spoke about the role of the father in the home and the role of the man in the community. made mention that most of the problems we face as a community is as a result of a dysfunctional family. No government policy or program can straighten the condition of the community better than the family. And if you want to have a clear picture of what the community looks like, look at the family system of that community. If the family is upright, it reflects within the community. But if the families are dysfunctional, the community is always a reflection of the families that make up continuous communities. But our main point last week had to do with the role of the man in the family. And the more absent men are in the family, it leads more to anarchy and chaos and disaster. It seems that the world is moving towards, championing or heralding dysfunctional families. Because the idea of marriage and commitment doesn't sit well in the youth now. Which is, people want to be in haram relationships than to be married, and raise a family and live peacefully. Because the commitment that family brings onto the table is not there in a haram relationship. So last week we spoke more about the men. And then we need to balance it and also speak about the women today. The power and purpose of the woman. We live in a world now whereby women empowerment, women independence, and the strengthening of the woman is the agenda for the world. Gender equality and stuff like that. It's very tough to be a woman now. The 21st century woman is very, very tough to be a woman now. Because the 21st century woman has been bombarded left, right, and center with all forms of ideologies trying to tell her that she must be independent, she must be empowered, she must be strengthened. That's not a bad idea. The independence of the woman, her empowerment, her strength, is not a bad idea. But the problem is, what is the modus operandi in us, empowering our women or strengthening them? If you observe 50, 60 years ago, our fathers and grandfathers are here. It was very easy to be a man, to raise a family. Because the roles were clear. The man is out there during the day, 10, 12 hours, whether in the farm or in the factory. The woman is in the home taking care of the kids. The man brings home the money, the woman distributes it. The man brings home the grocery, the woman makes the food. So it was very easy. And then it was very clear. And they didn't have any contention and any difficulty because this was very, very clear for them. Because there was no competition and there was no contention. The woman's place was in the home and the man's place was outside. And the man respected the woman at that time because he knew that whatever he brought home, she took care of it. She distributed the money the way it's supposed to be done. And she also respected him because he will go out there to go and fend for her and the kids or whoever else is in the family. So if you observe 50, 60 years ago, the rate of divorce is very, very low. As I said last week, now that we've had relationship experts, or we've read books on relationships, or we've been to schools now, or we now have degrees or master's degrees or PhDs, or we have more social scientists or behavioral scientists amongst our communities, that notwithstanding, our divorce rates are high, our domestic violence rates are high, our child delinquency rates are high. So where did we go wrong? These older folks didn't go or didn't have this high level of education as we do now. But then they were able to manage their marriages. They were able to manage their communities. Their societies were morally strong. And here is the case with all this technological development that we have now. We still have problems. The problem is that when we sell a wrong commodity to people, that is what is going to happen. Because the idea of empowerment and then the strengthening of the woman, which we all want to do, some people have hijacked it and turned it into something else. So statistics have shown that women are less happy now. Women are more bitter now. Men are less happy now and men are more bitter now. Because each and every one of us in the community doesn't want to compromise. That is the source of our problem. The man wants his rights 100%. The woman wants her rights 100%. So there is no room for compromise for any part. So at the end of the day, we end up with 0%. And then the victim is the woman. Why do I say the victim is the woman? It's because the 21st century woman has been bombarded left, right, and center with empowerment and strength and independence. So she is being forced to be like a man. The motivation is wrong. If he can wear trousers, I can wear trousers. If he can drive a tractor, I can drive a tractor. If he can be a CEO, I can be a CEO. If he can do this, I can do it. What men can do, women can do, and we do it better. You see, this mentality or this ideology that has been sold to us is the problem or is the cause of the problems that we have. But then does that mean that the woman is a second class citizen? No. Does it mean that the woman is not up to the standards? No way. Does it mean that the woman doesn't belong? No way. The problem is that we have taken a wrong path towards the empowerment and the strengthening of our women, and this has led to the disintegration of the family. And it's not the fault of the woman, no, it is what has happened to our social structure. Because today we expect the woman to be a mother, a wife, and then a career woman at the same time. We expect her to wake up around 4 a.m. wake the kids up and prepare them for school and help the husband prepare himself to go to work. After they are all gone, she also has to go to a workplace. And then when she closes at the workplace, she must report at 8 a.m. same way as the men report at 8 a.m. And then she has to close at 5 p.m. same way the men close at 5 p.m. And then she has to run to school to pick the kids and then take them home. When she gets home, she must prepare dinner for the family, and then at night she must also satisfy her husband. So the woman has been turned into a slave, an empowered slave, an independent slave. That is what has happened. And then the idea of financial independence is what is driving the dunya now. The materialistic tendencies of we must be independent, I must be safe, I must be protected, I must be insured from any unforeseen circumstances, so I must also get out there on the street and hustle like men. My sister, you don't need to be a man. You don't need to do what men do. You don't need to think like a man. Sometimes you see some folks act like a woman, think like a man. No, it's nonsense. The spiritual assignment and the purpose of the female is very unique. And if we really want to understand the power and the purpose of a woman, we need to go to the creator of a woman to tell us the power and the purpose of a woman.
you go and buy a phone, a fresh one, when you open the box, you don't see the phone first. What do you see? You see a paper on top of it. The paper is called a manual. And that paper is what you read to really understand the product. To understand the purpose for which the manufacturer created that product. And the manufacturer tells you that before you use this product, read this manual completely. Do you read the manual completely? No, don't lie. You don't. That is why you are utilizing your phone because you don't let everyone. And this is the manual. And for you to really understand your purpose and your power, not only as females but as males, you need to go back to this manual. And you need to read it completely through. The problem we are having as families, whether males or females within the family, is that this manual has been relegated behind us. And then we go to the wrong experts for solutions to our problems. If you have a Toyota car, you don't send it to the Mercedes-Benz expert for you to work on it. He can't do anything about it. The problem is that we send God's material to the wrong service agent, so we receive bad advice. We receive wrong advice. A married woman goes to an unmarried woman for advice in marriage. A man with 2 eyes goes to a blind person to give him the direction to a neighbor. So we are having all these challenges and all these problems because as both males and females, we don't go back to the manual. What do we go to? We go to behavioral scientists or we go to social scientists for them to tell us the purpose of the man, the purpose of the man, the power of the woman, the power of the man. And then you come home and then you have all these conflicts because you've gone to the wrong source for advice. When the Almighty Allah created us, when you go to Surah Al-Baqarah, chapter 2, verse 30, the Almighty Allah says, وَإِذْ قَالَ رَبُّكَ لِلْمَلَائِكَةِ إِنِّي جَاعِلٌ فِي الْأَرْضِ خَلِيفَةً. Almighty Allah told the angels, listen, I'm going to bring a vicegerent on the surface of the earth. Someone who is going to run affairs. Someone who is going to take care of things. In another verse, the Almighty Allah says, وَإِذْ قَالَ رَبُّكَ لِلْمَلَائِكَةِ إِنِّي خَالِقٌ بَشَرًا مِنْ طِينٍ. I'm going to create bashar, human beings, min teen, from clay. The Almighty Allah is telling you that He is going to create a human from clay. He wants someone who is going to dominate the earth, and the domination of the earth is going to be done by both males and females. But then our dominion is different. Are you from the city? The way we are going to dominate the earth is going to be different. It's not going to be the same. Because the purpose for which we were created is different. Our physical anatomies are different. Spiritually, we are the same. Something is wrong. What do you do? It's okay now. I have a dishes back. as a community of understand that we are different. Men and women are different. We are not the same. That way, our roles and responsibilities and duties in the community is not going to be the same. Our physical anatomies were created in a way that we are not going to be the same. When we understand these basic principles as males and females, we wouldn't have all these challenges. We wouldn't confuse the roles or give each other roles that do not suit the purpose for which we were created. When we understand this basic principle of our life, we'll get things easy. For example, the woman is emotional, but the man is logical. When you say something to a man, for example, if you tell a man you are stupid, excuse me, he just takes it as information. He analyzes and thinks, I'm not stupid, and then he forgets it. But then when you tell a woman she is stupid, she feels stupid. She takes it to heart because she has an emotional connection with words. That is why you must be very careful the kind of words you use on your wife, or your sister, or your mother. Because that is how the Almighty Allah created them. They have emotional feelings with words. The man doesn't tell you what he feels, he tells you what he thinks. And the woman will tell you what she feels, she doesn't tell you what she thinks. So a woman can tell you at that instant what happens. At the instant, she only makes judgments then. For example, you can be with your wife for 20 years and then one day she will tell you, what have you ever really done for me before? One of my fathers was shaking his head, yes. You are with her for 20 years, and then just one day, because of one misunderstanding, she will tell you, what have you ever really done for me before? That's how she's feeling at that moment. That's not how she feels about you. Know, it is the circumstances and the conditions at that time that has made her to feel or to think like that, to feel like that. And the man will always tell you what he's thinking and not what he's feeling. So a man can tell a woman, you're stupid. He doesn't mean that's how he feels about you. But just that maybe at that point in time, that is how you behave or that is how you act. You're acting a little bit stupid. So as a family, when we understand these dynamics, we'll have things a little bit better in our communities. But then if the man wants to play the role of the woman and the woman wants to play the role of the man, then you have chaos and confusion. And that is the problem we are facing today in terms of the disintegration of the family. That families are now built on unrealistic expectations. The young men entering the marriages are expecting the women to be vixens and then ustazas at the same time. And the young women who are entering the marriages expect the husbands to be millionaires at the same time, to be playboys, and at the same time be ustaz. It's not going to happen. It's not real. And the problem is that when you import other people's ideologies and other people's cultures into your communities, you have that problem. And that is the problem we are facing as a Muslim community, especially here in Ghana. Our mindset and our thinking is being, guarded or guided towards a direction. The Ghanaian community is sexually charged because our television and our radio programs, 70 to 80% of the content is all about sex. Even the kind of local medicine that is being sold on the street, go into our market and you find out that 70% of the people who are selling medicine are selling
sexual enhancement medicines. So at the end of the day, the mindset of the community is driven towards that understanding. So when we get married, that is the thinking. And we have problems and we have challenges in our marriage. The other part of the problem is that we feel that there's a need for us to be financially independent at all costs. Otherwise, sometimes if you speak over someone's head and then you see the kind of plan that person is having, you don't take time to faith. He wants to have a $2 million condo. He wants to ride a $500,000 car. He wants to have the latest iPhone or the latest Samsung Galaxy phone. And then he wants to wear the latest Gucci belt or latest Gucci dress. He wants to have this, he wants to have this, he wants to have this. And he has only 2 CDs in his pocket. Why is it so? It is so because that is what the community is preaching now. That is what the community is touting as success. Material success is what we think about, both males and females. But then the females naturally are incubators. So they have that tendency more. You can buy your wife a new shoe today, and tomorrow she will see another shoe and say she wants it. And then you tell her, didn't I buy for you a shoe yesterday? She will tell you, that's yesterday. Yesterday is past. Today is different. That's how they are naturally. Men understand this. That's how the Almighty Allah created them. They are natural receivers. They receive, they take. That's how they are. We men are natural givers. We give out. Even our bodies are designed that way. When you have this understanding, you have some peace in your home. The other part of it too is that don't expect the woman to treat you 100%. Because you are not going to treat her 100%. Don't expect to be or to be giving all the attention in the home. No. That's not how Allah created them. You can be the most powerful person outside the home, but in the home with your wife, you are a small one. Understand that? We will meet you outside. Chef, Imam, how are you? I'm fine. When you go home, even if you greet the Holy Spirit. So the power and the purpose of the woman in the family home is to nurture the next generation of responsible citizens. That's the power and purpose of the woman. And this power and purpose has been snatched away from the woman. And what has been given her, she has been turned from the original source of life in the family and the community to a slave of the community. Because if she's supposed to report at work at 8 a.m. and close at 5 p.m. and the man is also supposed to report at work at 8 a.m. and close at 5 p.m., the woman is going to be pregnant for the community. She's going to nurture a child in the womb. And then we give her only 3 months maternity leave. And she feels she has been empowered by that. When we tell her, that is your power. We expect her to nurture the next generation of children. We expect her to breastfeed. At the same time, we expect her to report to work with her baby. And then we think this is empowerment for the woman. We expect her to do the cooking in the home. We expect her to do the dishes in the home. And then we tell her, at the end of the day, you must be also out there to rub shoulders with men. So in the end, instead of empowering the woman as we say we are empowering her, we better turn her into a slave. Because there's this mentality and there's this ideology out there in the world the woman must be empowered. But in reality, it is the woman must be enslaved. She's being sent out there into the community to rub shoulders with unknown men who do not mean her well. But then it's being turned into something that it is women empowerment. And the moment you mount the pulpit to speak against this ideology or this movement, they see you as who doesn't understand who a woman is. Go into history and see. When they say behind every successful man is a woman, it's not a wife, it's a man. Yes, the wives are there, you've done your best. Like the queen of the boat, the giver of life to the boat. That's who the woman is. And until we let our daughters and our wives and our sisters understand that their influence and their power is in the nurturing of the next generation of responsible people in the community, we are doing them a disservice. We are doing them a disservice. We're like throwing our sisters out there on the street for them to fend for themselves, or throwing our wives out there on the street for them to fend for themselves is not empowering them, it's throwing them into danger. And they themselves do not have peace of mind. Statistics have shown that the more the woman goes out there into the world for whatever career she is pursuing, the more she is unhappy. Because her soul and her system has not been programmed towards that direction. But she is just forcing herself to be that, and at the same time, the community hails her and claps for her, and then she thinks that she's being held. At the end of the day, the kids that grow up within our communities lack that motherhood touch of their mothers, because their mothers are out there serving other people's businesses at the detriment of their business in their home. أقول ما تسمعون وأستغفر الله لي ولكم ولسائر المسلمين من كل ذنب فاستغفروه إنه هو الغفور الرحيم. بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين ولا عقبة للمتقين ولا عدوان إلا على الظالمين وأشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له وأشهد أن محمدا عبد الله ورسوله أما بعد. The reason why we are speaking about this topic today about the power and purpose of the woman is that Islam has been accused falsely of sitting down on the woman and clamping down on her happiness and destroying her future by letting her stay home, because the primary or the default position of the woman in Islam is stay home. But then the world feels that the woman should not stay home. Why do they think, or why do they say that the woman shouldn't stay home? They feel that they need to have some access to the woman free of charge. Because if my sister or my daughter is staying home, there is no roof outside there who can have access to her. This idea of women empowerment is all about the commercialization of the body of the woman. That's all it is. How we can get to commercialize the body of the woman. How we can get to sexualize the body of the woman. Because it doesn't make sense to me that you are advertising a car and then there's a naked woman standing next to the car. You are advertising for biscuits and then there's a naked woman standing next to the biscuits. You are advertising a home and then there's a naked woman standing next to the home. What does it mean? What is the correlation between the nakedness of the woman and then the biscuits or the home or the car? That's why you find out that the number one thing that is being fought against in the world now is the hijab. Because the hijab covers the woman and prying eyes cannot have access to the body of the woman. And some people speak about freedom and egalitarian concepts are fighting against the hijab left, right, and center and on a daily basis. Why? Because they feel that covering of the woman is colonial. These are it. Does Islam really sits down on the power of the woman? Does Islam really curtail the development of the woman? When you go into Islam and the history of Islam, and even our Quran and Sunnah, we find out that Islam has given some rights and privileges to the woman 1,400 years, long before the Western civilization even thought or even agreed that the woman was a human being. In ancient Greece, they said the women were lesser than men, but only greater than animals. When you read the history. In ancient Rome, the woman was only sought for sexual gratification. That's it. In the Indian continent, when a man dies, his wife who is alive is burned with him. In ancient Arab culture, when a man gives birth to a daughter, he buries her alive. In Africa, the woman is a machine. She goes to the farm with her husband. She is pregnant. She is carrying one baby at the back. She's holding the hand of another one. And then she's carrying firewood on her head. You're going home. And the husband only has his long gun on his shoulder. And then he's walking and he's whistling. That's the only thing. When you go on social media, on TikTok and on Instagram, we realize how the body of the woman is being sold to the world for free. Some people, because celebrities or stars on their Instagram pages, if you want a fans-only content or access, you pay $10 or $20 a month, and they should strip naked in front of you for you to see everything. This is the empowerment we want for our women. This is the purpose of a woman. You know very well that in this country of ours, if you want to be a star or a celebrity, strip naked. You become a star. Or have sex and then you shoot the video and then release the video yourself and it becomes the talk of the town. It becomes the center of discussion of the community. And any woman who does that is being seen as the champion of women's rights, the champion of women empowerment, the champion of women development. I call upon our sisters and the brothers that the reality and the purpose of the woman goes beyond what is under her cloth. But that is what we are being sold now. The woman was created by Allah for a purpose. The woman was created by Allah with the power. The woman was created by Allah for her to be the laboratory through which the Almighty Allah brings the next generation of leaders in the community. The Almighty Allah gave her this mammary glands on her chest for it to serve as a source of nutrition, to open the mind of young people or babies as they grow up, for them to be the thinkers of society and the community. The Almighty Allah gave her these feminine qualities for her to hold the community together. Of all this in the name of empowerment and strength. Okay, Sheikh, are you saying that the Muslim woman shouldn't work? Our understanding of work has also been adulterated. To work. That understanding is also corrupt. So we have this problem too, that is, if a woman is staying home, taking care of her family, taking care of her husband, taking care of her kids, taking care of the community, she's not doing work. She's sitting idle. Who told you that? Our understanding of work is that she leaves home around 5 a.m. and comes home around 7 p.m. And at the same time, we expect her to play her role as a mother and a wife in the community. We have really robbed our women of their happiness. Let me tell you what is going on in the United States now. They have what they call homeschooling now. The women have understood and realized that going out there to work for someone else's company at the detriment of the development of her family is not something she wants to do. So instead of sending their kids to even schools, the mothers have decided to stay home and then go to the government and pick the syllabus and teach their kids at home. Homeschooling. That's what is going on now in the US. My sister, that you are listening to me, let me give you a suggestion. You are 18, 19 years old. And then men have come to seek your hands in marriage. But you say you are underage, you are not yet ready for marriage. But then you have a boyfriend that you are sleeping with. You have had multiple abortions. Is that a life you want to live? Or is it because the world now has been bombarded with contraceptives, so everything is okay? You can have all kinds of illicit sex you want, and then because there are contraceptives, you won't get pregnant and there's not going to be any shame to the family. You're 20, 21, 22, you've graduated from university, you have a very good paying job. Get married, you said no. You must build a career for yourself. So you're going to work for the next 5, 10 years. When you are 30, 35. You need to explore all the options because men today are very, very deceptive. So you need to be financially strong first before you get married to any man. Because maybe after 1 year or 2 years of marriage, the man can pull out of the marriage. He can cheat on you. He can deceive you. So you must get that financial footing before you get into marriage. So what happens? Almost every year you date a man. You change them like diapers. Every year. Muhammad, he's a nice guy, but his job is not that well paid. You know, he earns a quarter of what I earn. I know he can't sustain me. He can't sustain me. So you find a way of, pushing him aside. And then Isa comes in. Isa is good. He's nice. He's very good in the bedroom. You are not married, but then you are testing the men too on issues of bedroom. You're testing them. He's good in the bedroom, but he has a quick temper. I can't live with such a man. So by the time you are 40, you've experimented with all kinds of men: tall, long, short, fat, chubby, slim. You've done all these experiments with them. So when you are 35, you now want to settle down. And understand, women, the older you get, the less attractive you are. But for men, the older they grow, the more attractive they are. That's a reality. The older the men go, the more attractive they become. And women, the older you grow, the less attractive you become. But then you've been sold this idea of no marriage, no family, no childcare, not giving birth, because you must protect a career, you must protect a lifestyle that is a fantasy. So you have these challenges. But let me give you my final solution or option or suggestion. Suggestion is better. What do you prefer? Do you prefer getting married at the age of 25 and then working for the next 35 years for a company or for a corporation or whatever, and then you get high rank, go right up to the highest level? You're married, you're giving birth, you're juggling your life with your work, with your life and stuff like that. And then when you are 60 years old, you go to pension and then you go back home. And then those kids that you've given birth to, that you were with them for the past 35 years, you were there, but then you were not there. Because you leave home around 5 a.m., you come home around 7 p.m. You are tired, you cook for them, they eat, they sleep. You don't have any meaningful conversation with them. You don't have any motherly connection with them. Your level of motherhood with them is only 9 months in the womb. Sometimes after 3 months of breastfeeding, you get them Cerelac and what was those things? Those things. You get them for her. And then because you are a career woman and then you are a manager at the office, you must be there for the top decision making. So you need to get a nanny who is educated to take care of the kids, because you must take care of the company affairs. So around the day, when the kids start talking, they only know their nanny. When they start going to school, they only know their nanny. When they become old enough, they only know their nanny. After the 35 years, when your son is 30 or your daughter is 30, or when they are 25, you were not there for them in their life, because you were building someone else's empire for them. And then when you come home and then they don't have time for you, you complain. This is what the world is selling to our women now. When they say empowerment, strength, and independence of a woman, all they are saying is they are robbing her of her happiness in the home. That's all they are doing. My mother, in the late 70s to the 80s, was a Form 5 leaver. Those of you 15, 20-year-old boys, you don't understand that when we say Form 5. It's a Form 5 leaver. And when she got married to my father, she stayed home. I got my Quran from my mother's mouth. I got my English language from my mother's mouth. We are 5, 6 siblings. My younger brother graduated from the Ghana Technology University College in Information Engineering. As we speak now, he's having his master's degree in Sharia in Niger. I'm doing my PhD now. My sister, who is behind him, is a midwife. The one after her is also doing his Sharia Islamic studies. The one after him graduated from secondary school 2 years ago. He's now doing lab technician. The last one is in Adisadal College doing general science. And our mother has been in the home for the past 40 years. In the morning, she prepares us for school. We go to school. Saturday, Sunday, we go to Makaranta. When we close from school and come back home, she is in the home. So if anybody has done something bad to us or have said something wrong to us, when we get home, she sees it in our face, and then she takes her time to correct all those things. But if she is not in the home, how will she be able to help nurture us and help us grow? My brothers and sisters, my solution to the problem we are facing is that a woman should report at 10 a.m. in the office and close at 2 p.m. Because some women, we need them outside there to take care of some things. Yes. But her primary place is in the home. If I had my way, any married woman should report in the office at 10 a.m. and close at 2 p.m. At 10 a.m. in the morning, she prepares her kids, she prepares her husband. She prepares her husband for school or for workplace, and then she relaxes, and then later she goes to the office. At 2 o'clock, she's closed. By 3, she's in the house, and 3 o'clock, that's when the kids close. Before they get home, it's 4 o'clock. She has had 2 hours of rest. She has prepared for them lunch, and then she helps them do their homeworks, and then she helps them psychologically and then emotionally. This is what should be done for our women who are career women. But then, when we say equal pay, equal work, the society is being killed. ربنا آتنا في الدنيا حسنة وفي الآخرة حسنة وقنا عذاب النار. ربنا لا تزغ قلوبنا بعد إذ هديتنا وهب لنا من لدنك رحمة إنك أنت الوهاب. ربنا إنك جامع الناس ليوم لا ريب فيه إن الله لا يخلف الميعاد. سبحانك اللهم وبحمدك نشهد أن لا إله إلا أنت نستغفرك ونتوب إليك. سبحان ربك رب العزة عما يصفون وسلام على المرسلين والحمد لله رب العالمين. قوموا إلى صلاتكم يرحمكم الله.